Oh, we're back in the bookshelf. We're gonna review books. The bookshelf. Look at the bookshelf. That's not even all my books. I have so much book. But we're back with another Star Wars book review. The next in the canon, besides the upcoming Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising, which I think comes out next month. I'm very excited for that. I love the Thrawn series. I love Timothy Zahn. We'll get to that when we review Thrawn. So the next in the canon is Star Wars Queen's Peril. It takes place before/during the Phantom Menace, and it is about Padme's rise to power as a queen. Prequel to E.K. This book is written by E.K. Johnston, who also wrote a book about Ahsoka, but it's also a prequel to one of E.K. Johnston's books, Queen's Shadow, which is about Padme's transition into becoming senator. So this book felt inevitable. Right when she wrote Queen's Shadow, this one felt inevitable that we would get another book about Padme. Padme was a character that in the movies couldn't care less about. I like Natalie Portman, but I just didn't care. The show did a good job, the Clone Wars show did a good job at making me care a little bit more about Padme, but the books have done way more to make me care than anything else has. And Queen's Peril, I liked it. This book is much more written for, unlike books like Dooku Jedi Lost and stuff, this one is written much more for a YA audience. Like teenagers and stuff. This book is written for teenagers. There's no problem with that. I am a teenager, so this book was definitely written more towards me, but I've always gravitated to books that were not written for me. I've always gravitated more towards books that are much more like Game of Thrones or something like that, or Stephen King. I've always liked books that are much more than my reading level, but it's always nice to get a quick book, because a book like this, just for my age demographic, is much quicker for me to read, so I can get through a book like this so much quicker. So it's always nice to get those too, so you can just do it like, alright, quick read. And I liked it, for the most part. I liked learning a lot of stuff about Naboo and stuff, which is a very interesting planet the more we get into it. Politics is a thing in Star Wars. It's never not going to be a thing. I always thought it was done poorly in the prequels, but that might have been just because of the writing, or the fact that such a large majority of it is dedicated to it. It might also be because Star Wars is especially made for kids. It is a sci-fi action franchise for the most part, an adventure franchise, and have like full stop politic time is odd for the movies. When it's only a half hour with better writing, or like a book that is meant to just be politics, I think it's done much better. But when it's movies and it just kind of feels like it comes out of nowhere, it's like, what's happening here? And it gets boring. Because this isn't what you wanted Star Wars. This is what you wanted out of the Star Wars movie. Out of a book and a show, it's much different, so I think it works better in those mediums. A Star Wars political drama movie wouldn't be bad. I could be down for it. It just needs to be better writing, and we need to know off the bat that this is going to be about politics, and not what we are thinking is going to be. That being said, I think the politics was handled really well. I found all of it very interesting. I was very riveted in learning about the origins of Padme's handmaidens and customs. I learned all their names. I only knew like a couple. I only knew like one of their names from the movies. That was it. But now I know all of their names, and I remember their names, that's a sign of good writing, that I can remember characters that are meant to be background extras in the movie. And the fact that they actually have character and stuff, that was interesting to me. There was a lot of interludes for different characters, like Chancellor Valorum, Senator Palpatine, Senator, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Captain Panaka, other other handmaidens. There's more to it than just Padme. Those interludes were amazing. I loved the writing. I loved all of it, especially the Palpatine. The Palpatine ones were amazing. So, like, can we just remake the Darth Plagueis book and make it canon? Because that is a great book. That's a great book. Let's just remake it so it's canon, and then because that is amazing. Get James Luceno back, move Luceno back for it, move the book. But that just the Palpatine interludes just reminded me how much I love that. Characterization, all that's good. Where it starts to struggle for me is when it becomes Phantom Menace. I like the fact that it started to lead up to Phantom Menace. I like all the stuff like the buildings of the Trade Federation and why they're blockading and what this means to everyone. I liked all that. But as soon as it became the Phantom Menace, I instantly went like, oh, okay. And it started rushing, and it started to rush through everything too, and it felt much more sloppy, and I was like, okay, this is what I wanted. I just wanted a prequel to Phantom Menace. I didn't want Phantom Menace. I didn't want a rushed, sloppy Phantom Menace. So that was kind of a bummer. I like the small character stuff and the teenage drama that was in the book. That was interesting to me. Once I got to Phantom Menace, I was like, if I wanted to read Phantom Menace, I would read the novelization for Phantom Menace. And if I especially wanted Phantom Menace, I won't read this where it gets really rushed and a lot of stuff gets kind of sloppy during it. It's not even focusing. It's focusing on people. It's hard to explain. I just, right when we got to Phantom Menace, I instantly was like, okay. Like, through most of the book, I was like, I can't put this down. This is so good. It's so quick. And then I got to Phantom Menace, I'm like, alright. So, but for the most part, I love the book. It was great. So I'm going to give Star Wars Queen's Peril an 8 out of 10. Have you read Star Wars Queen's Peril? If you have, tell me what you thought of it down in the comments below. I do recommend that you read it. Even though Queen's Shadow came before, I think it works much better if you read Queen's Peril and then Queen's Shadow. But yes, the next review will be Queen's Shadow, because that is next in the canon. Because I believe Star Wars 1 through 6 novelizations are no longer canon. So, Queen's Shadow is next. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. This is Jordan from Jordan Reviews. Signing off.